Hey everyone, it's LaDon coming at you with a quick video today to talk about how to care for our hair during those blazing hot summer months. I am just going to jump right in and talk about the first topic, which is humidity. For those of you who don't know, humidity is essentially the amount of moisture in the air. When it's really humid out, our hair begins to absorb the moisture that's in the air, and it will cause our cuticles to stand up, and sometimes that can cause us to have, really frizzy hair or really undefined curls. So usually when we think about humidity, especially here in Chicago, everyone hates it because, we don't know how it's going to impact our hair. But there are ways to actually use humidity for your benefit, and so that's what we're going to kind of talk about right now. Okay, so we're going to talk about humectants. And humectants attract moisture from the atmosphere, and they help to retain that water. In either, if it's in a skincare product, it will help to retain that moisture or that water in your skin. If it's a product that you're using for your hair, it helps to retain and attract that moisture to your hair. And there are a variety of different products you can kind of buy on the market that are humectants that you can actually, just purchase and put on your hair. And they're really good, essentially, if you have dry hair, it's definitely something that you want to look into as a means of naturally attracting water to your hair kind of on a daily basis. So I'm going to put a list of humectants in a box here. Okay, but some of them are glycerin, lactic acid, sorbitol, um, propylene glycol. There are a number of them. You can actually do searches on the internet for humectants, and it'll provide a long list of ingredients in hair care products and in skincare products actually that serve as humectants. If you don't already, and invest a little bit of time in learning what it is you're putting on your hair. Like grab some of your products and look up the first 5 ingredients of that product on the internet, and it'll actually tell you what each of those ingredients do. I find that that's been incredibly helpful in maintaining healthy hair, not only in the summer, but during all the 4 seasons, because I can adjust my regimen based upon those ingredients. There are times of year where I want to attract moisture, and there are times of year where I want to avoid moisture at all costs. Or, that I don't want to introduce humectants, or I only want to introduce them so the moderately. First humectant we're going to talk about is glycerin, because that seems to be the most, commonly discussed ingredient with naturals. So glycerin is a humectant, and it has a penetrating element to it. It also has a softening element. So it's penetrating and it's softening. So if you are, if glycerin is in your skincare products, then it's going to penetrate, your skin and soften your skin. If it's in your hair care products, then it's going to attract that moisture. It's going to penetrate the hair shaft, and it's going to also soften your hair at the same time. There are 2 different types of glycerin. There is a vegetable-based glycerin, and there is a non-vegetable glycerin. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the vegetable glycerin first. If you're like me, then and you don't mind using, a humectant on your hair, then vegetable glycerin is probably the way you'll want to go. Vegetable glycerin is extracted from plants, and it most commonly is found in products that are either certified organic or all natural and contain certified organic and natural ingredients in that product. Like all of the other ingredients are typically organic or natural. Then there is regular glycerin or non-vegetable glycerin, and that is extracted through animals and through petroleum-based oils, and that type of glycerin is most commonly found in products that are not all natural, and the ingredients are not all natural ingredients as well. So you'll find, lots of silicones that are, non-water soluble, in those products. And some people are fine with that. So you just have to determine which glycerin. You can also make your own products that contain glycerin as well. So you can purchase vegetable glycerin and you can purchase regular glycerin kind of over the counter. Now, if you want to combat dryness, like I said, you want to make sure that glycerin appears in the first 5 ingredients, or is listed as one of the first 5 ingredients on your product label. So if you don't already, again, take the time to look at these ingredients. And again, if you're suffering from dryness, you want to make sure that you have a humectant in the first, a humectant listed as one of the first 5 ingredients on your product label. Okay. Also, you want to step up your deep conditioning in the summertime, especially if you have dry hair, because we're not only dealing with hot temperatures, but we're dealing with the intense UV rays that hits our hair in the summertime. And so we want to make sure that we're retaining and replenishing as much moisture as possible that's being taken away through the intense sun. All right, so let's talk about UVA and UVB rays that are harmful to hair. They dry the hair out, they weaken the hair, they will cause you to experience intense frizziness, weakness of the hair, of course, dryness of the hair, and if you color your hair, they'll also cause your color to fade. So, there are a couple of things you want to do to protect your hair against those rays, and one of those things is, you might want to rock a fedora like I'm doing. If you do opt to select a hat, you'll want to make sure that the hat is wide enough or has a brim. That's if you're wearing your hair out. I always wear my hair out. I very rarely use protective styling. So when I purchase hats, I always want to make sure that this brim is wide enough to cover my head. So if I do this, I can go out and I'm still protecting the hair that's underneath it. You really have to take into consideration the size of your hair, and of course style when selecting your hats. So sometimes, you may not, depending on how long your hair is, you may not be able to find an appropriately sized hat with an appropriately sized brim, in your women's department. So don't hesitate to go to the men's department. They have really cool fedoras that you can even make a little more feminine by adding a little something like this, or a flower or ribbon, or or you may just want to rock it the way it appears. But definitely try it on. Make sure that your hair can fit underneath the hat. And then make sure that the brim is wide enough that it will cover your hair. You don't need it out here like you're in a color purple or anything, but just wide enough that if the sun is beating down, you're providing coverage and protection to most of your hair. Another thing you might want to consider are scarves. Now, I'm not a big scarf wearer, but there are so many beautiful ways I've seen women rock scarves. So, if you like to do the turban thing, or you want to experiment with that, just make sure that you buy fabric that's long enough for you to be able to fold multiple times, to do all of the beautiful turban-like, hairstyles. You can also, so you can buy a scarf to do that, but you could also go to your local fabric store and just ask them for maybe 2 yards of a particular fabric, and you could probably get that fabric for under $10, which is pretty inexpensive Or if you don't want to do like a turban look, but you just want a scarf that you can tie and maybe make a nice bow or what have you. You might just want a yard, and you could get that for less than $5. So it's much cheaper, much less expensive than going to a department store, for instance. Another thing you can do is purchase the SPF um, uh, sprays or refreshers for your hair. Aveda has a great one of those. Also, I think Redken and other product lines that make hair color, they generally have protectants for hair for summer, or refreshers for hair for summer that you can spray on, or sometimes it's a cream. And you can use that on your hair to protect it from UVA and UVB rays as well. Also, what I do is, because I'm always trying to multi-purpose whatever it is I have and watch my dollars, I actually make my own UVA, UVB protectant. And I'll make a video on how I do that, and I use it throughout the day. Another thing you want to do, if you're using um, a UVA or UVB refresher on your hair by Aveda, one that you make, or one that is produced by whomever you have your hair color through, make sure that you clarify your hair more often. Those protectants typically leave product buildup, or they can leave product buildup. So to make sure that your curls remain light and have lots of body and all of that stuff, then you'll just want to make sure that you clarify. Also, my daughter learned this last year actually. You want to make sure that not only are you applying that UVA protection to your hair, but you'll want to make sure that if you're protective styling, that you're using full strength UVA, UVB protectant on your parts. My daughter did French braids last summer, and the parts in between her braids, that skin got sunburned. So you want to protect your scalp as well. So if you're doing a protective styles where you have a lot of parts, or even in your regular part, if you're going to be out for an extended amount of time without a hat or other type of protection on your head, you'll want to make sure that you put some UVB protection on that part so that it doesn't get sunburned. Also, you want to do this area as well, especially if you have your hair pulled back right at the top of your forehead. Be sure to get your ears and get your ears as well, because those can really get sunburned. I didn't mention this earlier, but the sun actually breaks down the protein in our hair. So when you do your deep conditioner, consider using a deep conditioner that either has protein, it says is a protein conditioner, or that has, or that's labeled a keratin kind of conditioner, because that will help to repair your hair and bring that your protein level back. Now, I say that, but I also want you to recognize, if you are protein sensitive, then don't go overboard with it. Just do a protein treatment on a more regular basis than you would have otherwise. You want to stay away from this group of products right here: alcohol, peroxide, lemon juice, and any hair care product that says it will lighten your hair in the sun. Let's see. I think that's it. So I hope this information was helpful. Let me know if you have any other tips to add by leaving a comment below. Please don't forget to subscribe or rate, and share this, with others if you think that they benefit from the information as well. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate your support, everything. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.